Hey guys, welcome back to the Sisters Talk podcast. I'm your host, Danielle, and I have two special guests today. One of them, unfortunately, was not able to make it. But today's topic is gonna be would you date a bus driver? Brought to me by DJ 2K Nitro. Guys, go ahead and shout yourself out. Tell them who you are, where you're
What's up?
from.
What's up? It's your boy DJ 2K Nitro NYC in the building. Just here to show some love to my girl Danielle, man. So hopefully have a good time, a good discussion, and see how this goes.
See how it goes, because you know it's about to get rough up in here. We also have special guest Danielle Moore.
Hey, y'all know me.
DJ want all the smoke, man. Listen,
Huh?
you want all the smoke today. You by yourself. How you feeling?
Fine.
Wow. It's impressive. You have two women on the show today about to give it to you. And you just
Right.
like
I
you're
can
Because
tell
fine.
you why we don't date that bus driver.
Yo, when DJ
Y'all
brought this topic
outnumber us
to me.
like
Go
y'all
ahead.
outnumber us anyway, so it's like another day in the world.
That's so true. That's a very
Fact.
valid point. Very valid point. And
Not
listen,
really. We got sense though. Every number in the world don't
oh,
got
she
some
already
sense.
started off on the wrong foot. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, let's be cordial about this, guys. So again, the topic is would you date a bus driver? I hear some static somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna mute you right quick because I know if
Yes, tag me please so
is
my
it
viewers
you?
can watch it.
Oh no, I got it. Okay,
Okay.
so guys, for people who don't know what we're talking about, I have a small video clip to kind of catch you up to it. I'm gonna play it right now.
Would you date a bus driver?
If he owns the bus,
You black bitches all the same.
y'all made that part up. See, I said what I said. But then some of y'all started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits.
You complain all the time about don't nobody want your asses, don't know how to treat ya.
Don't you throw that up here.
Guys, so for that little bitty clip that you had, you saw where Van Zant, what's her name? I don't know this lady. I don't watch her. What's her name? Iana Van Zant. So sorry, ma'am. I messed up your name. I don't watch you, but a lot of my friends do. But point is, she seems like she's a well-seasoned life coach, and she's helped a lot of celebrities pull themselves together, get their life in order, their relationships together. Right? No disrespect to her. I just don't remember how to pronounce her name. Now, Ebony admitted on the show that she's a very crass individual. And I did some research on her. Like this lady is an American attorney, right? She's also a host of a show. She's hosted many well-known uh, podcasts and also a news network broadcast as well. So she's very, what do you say, decorated. This woman has degrees upon degrees, and she also went to law school. I want to read what Jeff said. See, sorry, we starting out with insults. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect. Right. It's sensitive. Sensitive.
Can't even get a good intro in. Like Jeff says, Ebony Williams' big head and ego probably can't fit on a bus. Wow. Wow.
Ooh,
This
that's
is what we're
brutal.
dealing with. Not even 5 minutes into the show. That's what you're giving me,
Right.
Jeff? Okay. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, it says he wouldn't drive forever. Okay, so we have one of our guests. Thank you guys for tuning in. Gifted Goldis. She says, yeah, she would date a bus driver. And she says that he wouldn't be driving forever. I like that. I like that mindset. I like that positivity. Jeff says, Iyanla Van Zandt. I'm going to call her Miss V because I don't want to miss this woman name, but I don't want her coming from me. Okay. But, I thought it was interesting because as they're talking about this topic on their show, I did some research, and Ebony's mother, she was raised by a single mom who was actually a bus driver. So she really was speaking from a place of experience. And that's all I'm going to say. And I'll leave out. The floor is yours. I'll be quiet.
Me? So I personally agree with her to a point. You know what I'm saying? It's not about him being a bus driver, it's the mentality of what's coming with that. Uh-oh.
Excuse me, the sound.
Is it staticky?
Sorry about sharing
We
that.
having some sound issues, huh?
That's
Okay,
okay.
let me see.
Yeah.
Can y'all understand me?
Yeah, but I think it's just coming from like the background. Let's see. It's
Is that
better,
better?
right? Yeah. I
Yeah.
just muted the background. It's
Okay.
for DJ background. It's okay. And unmute
Oh,
yourself,
okay.
DJ, when it's your turn.
So I was saying I agree with her to a point of the fact that, the mentality, you know what I'm saying? Because there's men who are gonna drive the bus that have the mentality of I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna do more. And then there's the men who get complacent and they feel like the bus is as far as they can go, like they've reached the top of the max. Like nobody wants to be with somebody that has that mentality if you're continuously growing. And like you said, she's a good lawyer. She got all kind of degrees and stuff. So she's constantly improving herself and she's extremely ambitious. You're not going to find that in a bus driver each and every time. It's the ambition that she's looking for, that drive. Everybody don't have that. So I feel her on it.
DJ, what's your rebuttal to that?
Okay, so first of all, I like to say she is into what she likes, right? I'm not debating that. She don't want to date the guy that drives a bus, or she want to date the guy that owns the bus. Fine, fair enough. My particular issue with what she said isn't really that comment. It's really the other comment she made after that, where she made like she's saying that she's and these people, this is white supremacy, all this type of stuff. That's like, what are you talking about? Like, these are people that didn't deserve to be like singled out like that, in my opinion. Necessarily, if you didn't like that question, you could have maybe phrased it differently and said, hey, I prefer XYZ, nothing against these type of people. They're good people to date, they're solid people, yada yada. But if I want to date somebody that's maybe achieving more, that's your preference. But when she's trying to say mediocre and it seems to be people and white supremacy, I'm like, you like doing too much. You don't need to say all that. It's not necessary for what you said. So that's where I had a particular problem with what she said. She could date who she wants. Now, in regards with her background, she was a lawyer, but she was a public defender. So they don't make a whole bunch of money. So she should honestly be a little bit more humble, because these bus drivers, they make some good money. They have pension. They make a good way for themselves. And honestly, if you take a bus driver salary, put it with another person's salary, you guys have a good ground to stand on, in my opinion. So there's nothing to look down on them for doing that. And not everybody can be a millionaire. Not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Not everybody wants to be in the corporate world and have all these elaborate things. So it's like you kind of putting stuff on people that maybe they don't want, because what comes with a lot of that stuff is a lot of stress. Some people don't want to deal with a lot of those things that it comes. Some people just want to do their job, come home to a nice peace of mind at home, and live like that. They don't want to be living this exuberant life, and a lot of stress comes with that. So you got to understand, everybody that might not want that for themselves, and nothing wrong with that. As long as they're being hardworking, good citizens, I see no reason to single them out and call them mediocre and all this other stuff. It was just unnecessary, in my opinion.
But here's the thing, though. The whole purpose of podcasts and shows is to state your opinion.
Your
That's her
opinion. Yeah.
opinion. Like, and you're talking about she doesn't make a lot of money. That girl is worth, Ebony Williams is worth $3
She
million.
didn't as a public
She's
defender,
worth
mind you,
she's
she's
worth
not still a
$3
public defender
million.
either.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
fact. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
She's worth 3 mil. That's a lot. So with that being said, she's in a different class. She's in a different rank. So when you're in a
A
different
mentality.
financial
Mm-hmm.
rank and class, of course not. You're not gonna want to date a bus driver. Let's be real right now, because
Yeah.
let's just say that you're worth 5 million, right? You may or may not date a bus driver, but typically the type of women you're gonna be around are CEOs, COOs, and people who are running or operating a business. So you're not, it's not that you're shading them, so to speak. It's just that you know what it took for you to overcome your hurdles in life. And again, this is a woman who was raised by a single mother who was a bus driver. So I think her response wasn't rooted in shading guys that are bus drivers. She even stated that at some point, and I'll pull up the facts here because I like to pull up facts. I don't want to just talk and you guys are like, are you making that up? No, I'm not. Let me show you. She actually stated in her second response, and let me remove the comment so you guys can see it very good. And let me remove this one. Sorry. She says during the conversation, Williams brought up statistics about Black women being successful with college degrees and top earners in their chosen career path. She then questioned how Black women can position ourselves in our divinity when some Black men are not in a position to protect nor provide. I think this was Miss V that was talking. Van Zant responded to Williams asking, would you date a bus driver? And she said, well, Williams says if he owns the bus. Williams replied, if he owns it. And so Van Zant said that's a problem because the standards and the requisites and the standards and criteria that I guess we develop for men are not realistic, is where Miss B was coming from. And she continued, I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he's a man of integrity, and if he loved his mom. You know, she just kind of going off of what she would and wouldn't do and why she would do it. Also, let's see, I think somewhere in here, Williams even admitted that she was triggered by that question. Of course, she'd be triggered by that question because her mother was a bus driver. It almost felt like it was a question that was propped up and posed by design. And she says, I've yet to have a male energy that provided or protected me consistently ever. So Miss Williams, she's dealing with some trauma that has never been addressed, right? And let me tell you something else. She's a Virgo. Anybody that knows a Virgo, they're highly perfectionist. Like they want you. I'm for real. I know. I have been in business deals with Virgos that ended bad. Okay, because they are very controlling, and I mean that in the worst kind of way because they are perfectionist type of individuals. I'm a Leo, so come with it. I'm here for all the shade. Virgos have a certain mindset, and they're very intelligent and overachieving type of people. So to me, it makes sense knowing her zodiac sign, knowing her history and education, and seeing her worth of $3 million, why she would have immediately responded like, yeah, I'll date one as long as he owns the bus company. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with her opinion? That's her opinion. That's her lifestyle. Why are we coming down on this woman for that?
No, nobody's coming down her for that, but you missing an important part about how she said it. She didn't say it like how you said it. She said, if he owns the best, all sassy and nasty and stuff like that, or like bigoted, like she better than. Like nobody want to hear something like that. If he owns the best and roll the eyes all sassy and stuff like that, with a lot of bouginess to it. So that's what made it worse for her too. So
what? She
like,
has the right. She has worked. She's
it
earned
doesn't.
her way into Bougieville, if that's where she wants to be.
See on television, people gonna blow up stuff that they see and interpret and try to say, okay, this is a person that reflects a certain type of people I don't like. Most people don't like people that act like that naturally. So she's just reflecting that. So naturally, people are gonna attack that when she said it how she said it. If she said it maybe in a different way that didn't reflect like that, maybe she wouldn't have got as much flack. But it wasn't even that because, like I said in the beginning, it's not even about that. I get she worth all this money, yada yada. But at the end of the day, who she with? She ain't with nobody. So she's asking a question.
This is so
like,
true.
Okay,
but do you know why though?
Who are you with?
The average black man. Do you know how much the average black man makes per year? How much does the average black man make per year? I like to talk facts. I don't like to talk emotion. What's up?
45.
Anybody in the comments know? On average, how much does a black man make in terms of salary per year?
45 around there.
We hope.
Not even. Somebody can pull
We
up the
hope.
facts and the stats for me. Look it up, Danielle. Like,
Let me
look
see.
it up.
You know I'll
I'm
do
telling
it.
y'all,
Hold on.
it's not much. Her point was, and it's so sad too, because she even did a response video to this, right? I'm gonna mute you right quick, Nitro, because I can hear a lot of feedback. But I'm sorry, I'm muted, not to be disrespectful. I can hear a lot of feedback. Everybody else can attest to that too. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna unmute you, okay? Real quick. What I'm saying here is this, right? On average, black men make anywhere between maybe max 30K per year. Now, dynamics are changing now. We in 2023, people are owning their business now. That's what she was talking about. She would date a man who owns his own bus company. Why? Because the girl is worth $3 million. She's not playing small. Big bank taking little bank. She worked her way to the top. She want to get with a boss.
She worked her way
I
up there.
totally
And
get
that
that.
requires a certain mentality.
Let's not double team him though, Danielle.
People missing.
Hold on, Danielle, because he's muted right there. I want to give this brother a
Okay.
chance to speak because I feel where he's coming from, but I'm trying to get you to see what she meant. Just because of her tonality, y'all are just ripping this woman apart. A lot of people say things with the wrong tonality, but with the correct intention, and we got to be able to decipher the difference. All I'm saying is she earned her space, and I like what somebody said in the comments. He said, hey, we always talking about jobs. We talking about how much you make, but what's your debt to income ratio? Facts. But we ain't talking about that on this show. And we're not talking about that when we were talking about Miss V either. Miss V asked her if she was going to date would she date a bus driver? And her answer was no. And y'all are ripping her apart because y'all equated that to saying that bus drivers don't make a lot, bus drivers ain't crap. She said none of those things. Okay, I'm gonna unmute real quick so you can respond.
I was saying that it also depends on mentality. Oh, is he talking? I'm sorry.
Is he? Are you unmuted, Nitro? Hold on. Unmute yourself. I think you have to do it. There you go.
Hello? I'm good. I'm good. Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello? Okay.
Yep, we
It's,
can hear you.
she related bus drivers, workers, seasoned D people, average at best kind of people, mediocre people. So that's where she got herself in real trouble. It wasn't even that. I'm telling you, the only thing that she did that was wrong was how she said it, and then doubling down on it, saying they're mediocre. That's a mediocre position, white supremacy, all this stuff. And then the irony of it, she was dating a white guy that didn't marry her. So it's like, why are you calling things white supremacy and you dating a white guy? It was just a lot of things that people could attack her for. I'm not attacking her for her preference. I get she's worth all this money. That's cool. But again, who's lined up to marry her and be with her in the beginning with all of that? So it's like you have that. The purpose of that talk between Danzant and her was about femininity with black women. So she probably has to work on that to maybe make herself more attractive to those men that she maybe feels she's able to, or she's entitled to get, or however she feels that they would maybe want to be with her, given her status, her economic status. But a lot of times those men don't want women like that. They want women who are more soft, submissive, and on their page, not some women that's going to be on their own page and have to work with on the women's page. But she probably don't understand that 100%. Maybe she does. I don't know. She claimed that she dated them all allegedly, but then nobody wanted to be with you. You worth all this money, and she's not a bad looking chick. So there's something else underneath there that's going on with her that she needs to maybe fix and work on. But it's not about her preference. If she want them dudes, she got to do whatever them dudes are asking for to make herself more attractive. And talking down on a whole class though was just unnecessary. Just stay on what you want. If you want those type of dudes, that's fine. More power to you. Just don't talk down on the hard working middle class kind of people. Like they didn't deserve that.
But at the level of where she's at, a lawyer, wouldn't a bus driver kind of be mediocre compared to the level that she's currently at? I mean, let's keep it real. So if we compare her level of where she's at financially to a bus driver, that would be mediocre, right? Because it's a lot to become a lawyer, like school wise, discipline wise, all of that. It's a lot to becoming a lawyer. So, I mean, I can understand where she's coming from again because she's basically saying she's not going to be equally yoked with a bus driver. And it makes a difference because her level of ambition, he's not going to understand that. He's not going to know how to support her. So he's going to have a mediocre mindset compared to the trials and tribulations that's really going to be thrown at her because every level there's a new devil. And I can see where she kind of brought in the white supremacy because if you're a man thinking you can't do better than driving buses, who told you that? Who planted that seed in your head? Who gave you that mind thought that you can't do better than drive a bus? Who
On
told you that?
another on another note, though, I'm gonna tell you something, Danielle. You probably don't know. Bus drivers pulling in that dough though. Stop playing. Like
Right,
seriously,
and I'm not saying I'm
they
not
make good
disagreeing.
money. But in comparison to the type of checks she's cashing,
Right,
right? It's
right,
a different story. So I think a
exactly.
lot of people got their feelings hurt by what she stated, and just to speak on what you said, Nitro, about the C's and the D's. We had a president for crying out loud that was a C student, so you can do whatever you want. The grades don't matter. We already know the school system is screwed. I said it. It is like it's not teaching you anything for real life. It's not teaching you financial wealth and stability. It's not teaching you anything, right? It's just teaching you history that has now been filtered out to be advantageous to the the elite class, right? Let's call a spade a spade. But going back to what I'm saying about how we allow our emotions to make us miss the entire point that she was making. The point is that was her opinion. That's what she wants to date. And you're saying she's not married, but there's a lot of people that are responding to who also are not married. So sometimes it takes time to find the equally yoked partner that you're looking for, whether it's emotional stability, because you talked about like her aggressiveness. Now, in fact, that was the whole, like you said, they were talking about femininity. That was the whole purpose of the topic. And Ebony admitted she was raised by a single mom. She is a crass individual. And I can see now a lot of people can't take direct communication because she was just brutally honest. And if we can't start learning to understand, you don't have to accept it, but you need to at least hear her point of view and try to understand why she would say what she's saying. We can't even do that because our feelings are so hurt that she's like, we're saying, oh yeah, well, bus drivers, they get paid and they're working hard, and I think it's not fair that she no, okay, it might not be fair, but that's her opinion. There's many people, many leaders out here that give their unsolicited opinion to us, and we don't respond to them the way we responded to poor Ebony. I'm calling her poor because it's like you get attacked every time you're brutally honest with society. But yet people can be, men is particularly can be brutally honest with black women, and we're not supposed to have the same reaction, right? Whether we're good women, bad women, educated women, uneducated women, women with children, women without. And here's another thing: she's selective on the income and the career of her man. Men are selective a lot of times about the image of a woman. Does she have a fat butt? Does she have big breasts? Does she have kids or no kids? You guys are selective too. So what
What them
really
stretch
truly
marks
is the
look like?
difference?
Oh,
What
What
is
them
the
stretch
difference,
marks
dude?
look
Like there's
like?
no
wait.
difference.
Oh, can I ask that? Can I answer that?
Absolutely.
Can I answer that?
Yes.
I got the numbers
So
too.
okay.
As far as the income, if y'all want to hear them. So ages 20 to
Go ahead.
29, it says white non-Hispanic make about 31.6. Black men in that age group make about 19.9 on average. So when we get to 30 to 39, it's 57.2 for white men or non-Hispanic, and for blacks, it's about 34,000 a year. 40 to 49, it's 68 with whites and non-Hispanics, and with black and non-Hispanic, it's about 47.9. So, and then 50 to 59, you got about 69.6 on the average for white men non-Hispanic, and for black non-Hispanic, it's about 48
And
on
I keep
average.
seeing black men in our comment section
Okay.
saying she's not getting any dates, but she's currently dating someone. That's wild to me.
So it's
I
about a
don't know who she's dating,
$20,000
but
difference.
the point I want to touch on that you were saying about men dating women that look a certain way, but they're dating down because those women are broke, right? So chances are they got big butts and but they broke, right? So
I
they're dating
never
down,
said
right?
they were broke.
And the
I
process,
said men date on a
I'm just saying,
preference.
thousands of years, men have been dating down. I guess we're going by her standards. So 1,000 years we've been dating down because women for the last 67 years been working. So maybe 1,000 years ago we've been down because all these women are broke. So we've been dating down. So now today's society, when women have a little bit more, and maybe we don't have as much as women in some areas, but now they dating down, it's okay or not okay. So it's been okay for us to date down by your standards for these 1,000 years magically. And now when the roles reverse a little bit, now it's the women's complaining about dating down. But so it don't make no sense. It's not always about
I
the
don't
money.
think I don't think she
Money
was
is important.
complaining. That's my whole point. The woman never complained about anything. She stated her opinion, and black men got
Oh,
upset.
I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about just
I am talking about her. That's
what
what we're
came from
talking
her.
about. That's what we're.
No,
That's the
I'm
whole
not talking
purpose
about
of this.
what she's. I'm saying this whole thing that came from it. The
Mhm.
stuff that came from is like, oh, dating down. We got to elevate. We got to get more money. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But who's dating down? Who's dating down? Why isn't a bus driver good enough? It was good enough for Van Zant to date one. She's just as rich as Ebony. And she says she would date one, but Ebony won't date one. And then
Van
now
Zandt
other people
comes from
taking
a
that.
different era, dude. She is 69 years old. Miss B is 69,
Right.
dude. Like, come on, get
It
off
don't
the
There's
make
a
no
big
gas,
sense.
dude.
difference.
What kind? Have
What's the
you been
difference?
smoking grass today?
What's the
Listen,
difference?
Ebony Williams is
What's the
39 years
difference?
old, dude. That's double her age. That's like 30 years. I'm like,
Right.
that
What is
is
A
the
three.
different
That's
difference?
era.
at
What is
least
the
one
difference?
generation before her.
What is the
Right.
difference?
Come
So
on,
this
you're
is
not
the
making
different era.
valid points, bro. Like, come
Because
on.
They
in
don't make the same
'69 they
money.
was fighting
She
to
makes the
ride the
same
bus, to
money. So what's
even
the
ride the
difference? It's
bus,
all
let
about
alone
money.
drive it.
If it's all about money, what's the big difference? If you
But
base it
it's
all
not
on
all
wealth,
about money. It's also about
that's what y'all
mentality.
basing it
It's
off of.
also about
That's
mentality.
That's what y'all basing it off of. And then here's the irony: you get these men that make all this money, and what they're gonna chance are they're gonna be the type of dude that you don't want. They're gonna be super busy. They might be promiscuous. They might not treat you how you with respect. And then what you gonna do? Complain? Oh, there's no good man. All the men. But this is the guys that you want, right? Versus, you could have got yourself a hardworking middle class dude that's gonna respect you, treat you well, and be committed to you, right? But so what? You got your money. He has his money. You have your money put together. Do something with it. It's nothing wrong with that. But everybody's so fixated on these titles. Oh, he has to be an executive. Oh, he has to be work on Wall Street. He got to be a CEO. What's wrong with just having a good guy that treats you good and holds you down and committed to you? But women don't think like that. They think about the
This
stupid
girl
stuff
probably
that comes
got a
Because it
mortgage.
comes with
that's the
it's
problem.
no, it still comes with insecurities. Because if she's a high pricing lawyer and he's down here driving a bus, men have their own insecurities. There's men out here that won't even date women who make more than them because they're insecure and feel like they don't have
Because
enough to
how the
offer
women get
her.
back.
And the only thing
It's
men
not
feel
about
like they have to
insecurity.
offer a lot of times in relationships is protection and support. So if you think that's all you have to offer, then there's a problem there too. So again, it's because she's not equally yoked. She came from a mother who's a bus driver. She came from that life. She
And she's
knows how
talking how
she
she's
had to
talking about
change
bus
her
drivers.
mindset
The
to
irony.
rise above that. Don't nobody
The
want to pray
irony.
on no man and have to change his. Let me
I,
come on. Let me
why?
push
What is wrong
you.
with being a bus driver making 6 figures? What's wrong with being a
Nothing.
bus driver making 6 figures? Something wrong with that? Having a pension. There's something wrong with that?
But see,
There's
Nope.
nothing
that's
wrong with
my
all of
whole
that.
point. Nobody ever said it was wrong. She said that's not what she
She
I'm going with
won't.
wants,
what Danielle
and no
saying.
one can
I'm
just
going with what Danielle
simply
saying.
accept that.
Then go
This
off of my not equally
That
yoked
she
part of
said it
it.
was wrong when
$3
she when
million.
she said when she said mediocre. When she said mediocre, C's and D's, white supremacy, that's
Okay,
where
so
she went
then
wrong.
let's
Y'all
address
did.
it. Look,
She ain't say that with
Jenga,
no
let's
discussion.
address it. Let's address it, right? I just
She
hit
didn't say
Jenga.
that with
Let's
no
address it.
discussion.
Let's be real. We want to be brutally honest on this show today. Let's talk about it, right? A lot of our kids are underperforming as black kids. Am I lying? Yes or no? Are
True.
A
all of
lot
them
of them.
reading on reading, great reading and writing level?
Not
Yes
a
or
lot
no?
of them.
No, a lot of them are not. Okay, we just talked about the salaries of black men. Is it your fault? Absolutely not. But is it linked to white supremacy? 100%. And well, actually, I'm gonna say 70%. 30% is you. You're responsible for yourself, and you're supposed to educate yourself behind the scenes. You know, you can't just rely on public school systems because they're definitely not gonna give you what you need because they're not designed to. Let's be real. So when she's speaking from that place, she's saying to you that listen, I don't want to deal with somebody that's not going to go over and beyond to reach their goals, even though all of us, black men and black women, mutually have to deal with the struggles of life, the struggles of this country, and the politics and everything that is surrounded around it. I still went through the mud and got through it. I want my man to
Right.
be able to achieve the same thing, the same status without an excuse, like how my black man trying to give me today. I don't want to hear it because the same applies to my own husband. He came from Jamaica, third world country, right? Where they literally hunt. I bet you don't know how to hunt for your food. I bet you can't catch a rabbit. You know how fast them rabbits run, man? My husband can because he grew up like that. So what I'm saying is he came over here and now he's one of them truck drivers. You understand me? He worked his way to the top. And I never would have married him if I couldn't see him being able to achieve that. And I think that is the point that I'm trying to
That's
make is
exactly
that
what.
Ebony is saying whoever she gets with, right? He has to have the ability. Women, we can see things in people that men can't see in women. Y'all see ass and titties. You want me to be frank? I'm gonna be frank on this Sunday. Lord forgive me. Y'all see ass and titties. What we see in a man, we see potential, and we ask ourselves, can that potential materialize? That's what we're asking ourselves. If the answer is no, based on his pride, his ego, and his insecurities, we're not gonna waste our time. $3 million worth woman
See the
wants to
man.
date a bus driver.
What you
I
see
don't
in a
care if
man
he
is
making 100 racks. That girl is farting out 100 racks. Stop playing with her. I'm gonna be quiet.
first. That all of that is silly talk, which no offense, because I'm gonna say a couple of things that's gonna undermine what you're saying right now. Julia Roberts, she dated she's one of the highest paid female actors, Caucasian actress. She dated a nobody. Was worth nothing. Dated a nobody. So it was good. It was good enough for her, but not good enough for black women. Another thing, school. You're talking about school and elevating and school is not cheap. School is not. We know if we go to a high profile school, we got to take out a whole heap of debt. That stuff is not cheap. Black women are the most enrolled, so it means they have a lot of debt 9 times out of 10 of these schools that they go to. Who wants to take on all that debt to get a degree that might not even be beneficial for you in the long term? So most men think like that in terms of them. I don't want to have all this debt because we don't even know how much debt Ebony Williams has for going all this school and stuff. We don't know how much she has debt to income ratio. But chances are that bus driver probably has less debt than she has because they didn't go through all the lengths of school and everything like that. So that's another thing. The third thing I was going to say is that in terms of just people in general these days, man, men are viewed as a paycheck. We're no longer viewed as a being, as somebody that's going to protect, provide, and support. We're looked at as a paycheck, unfortunately, these days. So a lot of women these days. Women, I give you a credit. Y'all doing y'all thing in a lot of ways. But let's be fair too. Let's keep it real. Affirmative action has helped a lot of these things occur where black women getting the jobs that they getting, because a company could hire you and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, meaning hiring a minority and hiring a woman versus a black man is this, they still have to hire another part of that equation. So that helps, that goes a long way, because a lot of times if it's between me and her for the same job, we have the same qualifications, she's gonna get the job. I'm probably not gonna get the job unless I know somebody. So there's a lot of variables that affect why black men don't get all these things. A lot of times we get what we can get in terms of these type of jobs. We take the civil service test, we take an exam, and we get the job. It's simpler than that, than dealing with the politics of potentially going into the maybe like a corporate world or something like that, and then having to deal with all the politics. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's me and a black and a white guy for the same position, or it's a white guy and a black woman for the same position, who's gonna get the job? Them two over me. So I have to go another route to make a way for myself. I can't always depend on those type of echelon jobs to make a way for myself all the time. So it sounds good, but a lot of times it's not realistic. It's just not how it boils down. So we gotta do what we gotta do.
Hey, Gifted Golden said she gonna ask the bus driver how he moved them hips. Period. I'm done.
Look, it made me think of a time when I was in college, right? When I was in college, I worked full time and I was going to college and I was a mother,
Oh,
right? And I had bills to pay. So when I did all that, and mind you, I'm one of them people that are overachievers. So I'm one of the people that go and argue about why I didn't get an A. Hold on, why is this not an A? So anyway, when I was going through that period of process, the person I was dating always complained, "You don't ever have enough time for me. You don't ever do this. You don't." I work, I go to school, and I have a kid. And he felt like, "Oh, you're not focused on me. You're neglecting me. Me, 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 me." I'm like, "Hey, sit down and do my homework with me. Let's talk about it. Let's have some time." I tried to involve him. He wasn't interested in anything that I was interested in. We eventually ended up going separate ways because he wasn't able to support me through my ambition, and he didn't have any ambition. I kept giving him things. "Oh, well, you want to be a mechanic? Go to trade school, get certified." He wouldn't do that. He was okay with being customer service. At the time, we both worked customer service. I went from customer service to tech support to IT, and I finessed my way in there. I didn't have no IT degree. I finessed my way in there because of who I am, and he was still at customer service. It became a problem when he was still sitting in customer service and I'm over here in IT. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? It became mine according to him, but is it really my fault? We were not equally yoked. I wouldn't date somebody who has a lower mentality, a low vibing person. And if they're stuck in, I'm just going to be a bus driver. I can never be more than this, which is a lot of stuff of what he would say, and come up with excuses on why he wouldn't even try to make the steps to go to the next level. How is that my fault? So I'm supposed to carry everything I'm doing on top of drag you along with me? I'm not going to do
Period.
that. I'm
Period.
not
I
going to
gotta
do that.
Now you
And
can
let
do
me
that.
tell you, I
I'm
can attest. I'm sorry,
I'm
Nitro.
not condoning
Let me
that.
slide in here real quick. Let me slide in here real quick. All I'm saying is, when you're dealing with people who you're not equally yoked with, they are going to definitely have a different mentality from you. If you're a go getter, you already got a degree or associates, or maybe you just have a trade and they don't. Guess what? Anything, in some cases, I'm gonna say in some toxic relationships, they think anything that you do is a flex. Like you're just doing it because, oh, you think you're better. They have this sense of jealousy and all that because they don't have the same drive that you have. Now imagine this, right? A bus driver making $100,000. He gets with Ebony Williams. Again, she's worth 3 million. She probably signing out checks that's more than a lot of people mortgages in one sitting, right? And he run across one of those checks. See, I don't disclose, and that's one thing I advise other people in relationships not to disclose how much money they make because that can cause problems later on down the road. I know from experience.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is, she got like a $350,000 check laying on the table. He see that, and that's how much he make in 3 years. How do you think that's gonna make that man feel? Just from a very basic level. I'm not talking like, oh, he gonna grade. I'm just saying he gonna step back and say, wow, how can I ever
She
like
don't need me.
And I've had that happen to me.
She
That's
don't
been
need
said to
me.
me.
Right.
That has been said. Those exact words have been said to me. So that's what I'm saying. Men always complain about how emotional women are. Men are equally as emotional as women are when it comes to certain things, and that's the area of protection, financial support. These areas trigger men, particularly black men. Now, you had said something earlier, Nitro, about you saying, hey, we're not afforded the same opportunities. That's 100% correct. And that is the reason why Ebony said what she said. She said she wants to promote a dynamic of ownership within the black community. If you guys don't, we follow things to a certain point until we get triggered. But if you go a little bit deeper and see what her response video was about, she lets you know exactly why she said that. Just because you're saying, hey, oh, a person making C's and D's shouldn't be talked down on, they're doing their best. That is true. But when you have somebody as dynamic as Ebony and many other black women and men that have went against the grain and gotten where they've gotten, they didn't get there from just being accepting C's and D's or not going to school or not creating a creative way to become a millionaire. You don't have to go to college to be a millionaire. There's a lot of millionaires of every
I
race
know
and
four of
religion
them.
that are millionaires, and some are even billionaires, and they never touched the college ground. My point is, it's the way your mind works. Do you have the capability of survival and going past that survival skill? Do you have the capacity to be abundant in everything that you do? Do you have the space to create and gravitate money and clients, right? That's what she's talking about. If you're not cultivating your mind to do those things, what the heck are you doing? There's no way you can be with a millionaire like that. No way.
And that is the difference because I
I
met
come
four
from
self made millionaires through selling cars. I've made four of them, and none of them have college educations. And I can tell you the difference between those people and the ones who came in there with a 400 credit score was their mindset. The millionaires, they didn't have a thought of, oh, I can't do this, or they're just like, what obstacle am I going to have to take out to get there? Versus the people that are low income, oh my gosh, I hit a brick wall. I don't know how to get past this brick wall. When you got the self made millionaires trying to figure out how to tear through the brick wall. There's the difference.
excuse me, ladies. I'm the only guy. So again, all y'all talking about money, money, money. Don't get me wrong, but you are forgetting a lot of what goes into making $1 million. And what these people are super busy, super stressed a lot of times, and they have a lot of options. So again, you it's cool as long as you accepting of that, because a lot of times women want these type of dudes, and then they get mad when they deal with a lot of things. You think these I want an athlete, I want a basketball player. Those are the most toxic type of dudes to date. So be careful what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? Million, 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 six figures. How much do you need in the world You don't need dollars to survive. All you need is enough. You need millions of dollars. Like all this millions of dollars, it sounds basis. A lot of that time is most of the time you're working.
Hey, Nitro, you breaking up. You
Better to
breaking
date
up.
somebody that's not as successful.
Yeah, you breaking up.
Can you?
No, you kind of breaking up. Go out and come back in. But I respect your point for real. Like you're right. On the average level, and I mean average income earners in this making no more than 500K a year. Yeah, 100%. But I'm just speaking on Ebony's behalf because Ebony got a lot of heat from the Black community, and I don't think it's right because that was her opinion. She's entitled to it, just like we're entitled to our opinion about her too. Like, I mean, y'all saying whatever y'all want to say. That's cool. That's your business. But my thing is, I try not to get triggered about other people's opinion because they're entitled to it. This is her life. This is what she wants for her. You know, you have a lot of men that are saying she's not married. She doesn't have to be married. Maybe she does not want to be married right now, but she is openly dating successful men of all races. So try not to get triggered about somebody else's lifestyle and just focus on you. I think that was the whole premise of why I wanted to talk about this topic, is that we always beat up people who are brutally honest with us about their opinions. These are their opinions. Like, there's no right or wrong answer to an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like a lot of us are very much average income earners. And yes, it is about money on this topic because we ask, would you date a bus driver? And most of us would, because you know why? Most of us are average income earners. That's why. But if we were millionaires, that would not be the case, now would it? Let's be real with ourselves. Now, like I said, there's a lot of average income earning women that are looking for ballers, millionaires, things like that. God bless you. Good luck. Because that's not a realistic fantasy to obtain. You're not going to obtain that realistically. A lot of you guys aren't, because there's a lot of stipulations out there that people of that class are looking for. And a lot of times you don't have it. Let's just be honest. So,
And Gifted Goddess said it real. She absolutely understood what I was trying to say. It's the mentality. It has nothing to do about the money. You know what I'm saying? We can start off on the same level, but I guarantee you in 2 and 3 years, I'm not going to be on the same level that we started on. I'm going to elevate. And I need somebody that has that same mentality, regardless if we go the same way or he goes another way according to his gifts. We still got to go up is the point. I don't want to stay stagnant. I don't want to be with a man who has that personality that's okay, I'm complacent right here. You may be complacent right here, but then that's going to cause relationship problems later because I'm not complacent. I don't care how much money we make. I'm working to hire me to be happier in general, mind, body, and soul. That don't have nothing to do with money. But if he can't climb to that level with me, then I'm gonna leave him behind, and it's gonna cause problems.
and I just really want to see more growth in our community, because as soon as we say things that you don't agree with, you get triggered in the worst kind of way and you end up missing the whole point behind the comment that's made. The woman made the comment to say, I don't think that's where our people should be. We should be owners of whatever it is that we
Right.
like to do. Okay, I like to mentor and teach. I need to own my own tutoring business, right? That's a really
Right.
good example. You like to
Yep.
bring holistic wealth. You own your
I
holistic
own my own
business.
whole. I do.
That, you know
That's
what I'm
exactly
saying?
what
I
it
love
is.
spreading the truth. I love spreading
Yeah.
self-love and self-worth. That's why
Yep.
I own Sisters Talk
All right.
LLC.
I'm back.
This is
I'm
what
back.
Ebony is talking about.
I'm
And
back.
more of our
There
black
you
men
go.
are owning things. Okay.
That better?
Yes, a lot
Okay.
better.
I heard some of what you were saying while I was going through that, and I don't want to cut you off if you have something you were saying now. I'll speak when
Oh,
you
you can go
when you.
back because we wasn't hearing most of what you were trying to say. So you can go
Oh,
ahead and say it again.
man, I was on a roll there. I don't remember where I left off at, but all I'm gonna pick off what you said. What the
Okay.
point that I heard was she didn't deserve whatever. She deserved that. She, because when she said what she said on the second response, trying to put those people with C's and D type people and mediocre, that was unnecessary. She didn't need to go there. She could have just left it how she said it with the initial interview and just said, hey, that's my type. That's what I like. And nobody would have probably got at her too harshly for that. So that's what she got the smoke that she deserved. Because if it was roles was reversed, men was to go on and say something about, oh, this and that about women. Oh, I don't date strippers, or strippers are slow, or strippers are dumb. Oh, how much smoke that
Kevin
man would get?
Samuel.
He would get so much smoke. He didn't say nothing about strippers to my knowledge, but just
But
how
he
people
said a lot about
say.
women,
He said,
low
but
value
some
women.
and they gave him a lot of smoke, right? They gave him a lot of smoke, right? So that's the point. So if
They
a man
did.
does it, there's gonna be a hell of smoke to pay. So she got the same treatment a man would get. So I didn't say she didn't deserve it. She deserved, and she got feminism 101 equality. So she got what she deserved right there. So I don't see
Well,
she didn't deserve that.
I think anybody who says they're going to have honesty, right, got to understand that that comes with smoke, period. If you're going to be
Yep.
honest, whether you're brutally honest, whether it's if you're going to be honest, it comes with smoke. And I think that's the problem that we have with society, which
Mm-hmm.
is what Danielle mentioned, is that she gave her opinion and then she was attacked by the community. And that's why a lot of people tend to lie because they don't want to deal with the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So, and now we pose a question of, okay, man, do y'all really want an honest woman, or do y'all just want women to stroke your ego? Because I think that's where we're having a lot of miscommunications and stuff going on too. Because men say they want an honest woman, and then we got an honest woman, and look how many men came for her. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's what I'm
So
saying. It
then,
depends. She said she didn't say nothing in good form. She said it in a negative connotation. If mediocre and seasoned these people, that's what she deserved to smoke. If she said it, hey, I want my men, I want better for my men. I want men to do this in a nicer tone, a nicer way, a nicer manner, then she probably wouldn't have got the negative backlash that she got. It's how she said it and the things that
it's the
she
presentation.
equated to being to black men that do these jobs. And that was not
Yeah, and
fair
I
and that
gotta
was
say, like
unnecessary.
I said, and I agree with Nitro on this 1000%. I know it's not. I think I know she responded the way she did because she was being attacked on the Breakfast Club. The
Yes, she
Breakfast
was.
Club so
She
into
was.
her, and she had to defend. So she was responding in defense of. She was defending her whole self because you got to remember she had a whole book on the line, Nitro, and we ripping a whole hole in her. She probably sold one copy. Okay, like and that just goes to show you.
Danielle brought it. Danielle brought it.
No, I didn't. But here's the thing: I
No,
ain't
not
ripping
you. Other
nothing
than
in.
Danielle.
Me?
But I
I
am
might.
wise enough. I am
She'll
wise
go
enough
here.
to share my honest opinion about it. And I don't think she was wrong, but her tonality and when you're selling a product, you might want to reconsider
Thank you.
how you
That's all
say
she was wrong
what
for.
you're
Yeah.
That's the
saying.
only thing I'm
Yeah.
attacking. Some of what she said, I ain't disagree. Like that's cool and all. I'm not debating that. It's how she said it and the things that she said to correlate with the men that do these jobs. It was like you didn't have to go to that route. You could have said it in a different manner. She could have recorded it. That wasn't a live thing that she recorded the second response. She could have recorded and said, "Hey, let me tone it down. Let me make sure I'm not offending nobody. Let me make sure I'm coming. I'm being clear. I'm being like I'm not like judgmental because she already started judgment. She came off judgmental with that initial response with the if she owns the best. So now you got not. So come on, with all of that, that was unnecessary. That was like nasty as it
She
is.
felt attacked by Miss V Van Zandt because I really felt like it was scripted. And the only reason why I said it is how did you ask her a question that was so particular to her upbringing? Her
Right,
mother
because her mom
was
was a
a
bus
bus
driver.
driver. That
Right.
will trigger anybody when you start bringing up childhood traumas or your mama. You know, in the black community, don't bring up nothing about my mama, right? On some really silly hood stuff. Yeah, because we
Or
don't know.
close to it.
Yeah, we don't know her upbringing. She may be worth 3 million today, but we don't know where she came from. And that's the thing too. That's the reason why I'm not gonna be so harsh on her because just based on how she's responding to the questions that are being asked, she's completely on defense. If you paid attention, you know that Nitro, and I know that's what you're speaking to too. But we can't fault this woman, man. Breakfast Club was ripping her up. Van Sant was ripping her up in real time.
If I go around saying something negative about a bunch of people in a certain class, and then I'm a public figure, it's gonna come with it. So it's part of the game. If you don't want to deal with that, you can't be in the kitchen, man. You
Right,
don't want this heat
right.
cans in the kitchen. It comes with that. That's why some people don't mind being in front of the camera. Some people want to be behind the camera because they don't want to deal with the possibility of the confrontation that arises from certain
Right,
discussions
because
and
one
certain
thing about black
perspectives.
people, we gonna give it to you, huh? We
Right.
ain't gonna
I
leave
don't
no
think she
crumb.
shed no tears though. I don't think she shed no
Maybe
tears
behind the
either.
scenes, because maybe she put up
Maybe.
mirrors. understood,
It
but
didn't sound like it because even in her response afterwards, she wasn't any softer.
No,
but
she
my
was.
thing
She
is, I'm
was.
still really big on holding people accountable, right? It's not my
Well,
job to hold everybody accountable other than my family and my own children. But if
Mm-hmm.
I'm dating someone, I am, or
Mm-hmm.
married to someone, I'm gonna hold that individual accountable. What you choose to do in your house is your business. What you choose to do in your relationship is all on you. But I am big on integrity. I'm huge on being accountable for your actions, being a go-getter. It's everybody that is on this planet has a special talent. You got to tap into it. And you cannot, and I think that's what she meant about mediocrity. Don't just lay around and accept what people give you. You go out there and you create your way. Because a lot of us aren't given any kind of pathway. We have to with the
And
tool to the ground.
not only that, she was raised in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And she's a lawyer. So, and she's black. So that's a whole lot of stuff that she had to fight through and overcome, and a whole lot of obstacles and a whole lot of negativity that's been thrown at her way. And she's going to be told no. I'm sure she's been told no a bunch of times. And she was like, well, I'm going to go down this hallway then. I'm going to go down this hallway. She didn't accept that no, and I think that's kind of too where she was at with it, like as far as white supremacy, because you, they are threatened in a lot of areas as far as intelligence. That is the truth, and they will start blocking you. That is the truth. That's why cities got burnt down in the past. A lot of stuff has happened, so she's overcame that. So I don't see why she should necessarily be given her man a pass on that. If I had to fight through to get to this level, you gotta have the fire to fight through it too.
So what I think life has done to her is it made her weaponize her femininity. That's the whole purpose of what Van
Right,
Zant was getting to. And Ebony agreed that yeah, I'm a very aggressive person by nature because I didn't have my father in my
right.
life. The product of that, just like a lot of feminine men, black men particularly, are a product of being feminine because they were raised by a mother, a single mother in the house. They don't realize that, but a lot of their ways and how they problem solve, conflict resolution goes back to the core of who raised them, which is a woman. So, see, these are issues that we don't want to address, but it's the reality. This is why Ebony is so aggressive. She's had to be the person that protects herself as an adult. She said that. And I'm not giving her clear passage to crap on other people and what their circumstances are. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying try to understand why the individual is saying what they're saying.
but
That is what.
that's a problem that you women have to figure out how to balance your femininity with these type of jobs and career paths that you go into that are more aggressive. You bring that masculine energy home to a man. It's a lot of times you get a clash because a man's not looking for that from a woman. He's looking for femininity, softness, peace, quiet. But if you bring all that from the job that you have, which a lawyer is a high stressful, high masculine type of job. You're battling in the courtroom on a daily basis and doing a lot of aggressive kind of stuff most times. So I understand you got to have that energy in you, but these are things I can't answer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in those type of fields with that deal with a lot of masculinity in terms of from a woman's perspective. It's something women have to figure out how to balance. Have your career if you want your career, no problem. Hey, do your thing, whatever. But when you come home, don't bring that home. That stays out the door at the job. You leave that there. When you
Okay,
come home to
and
me, you bring me my woman. I don't want to deal with no Miss Sir at the job. You leave that at home at
and
the job.
isn't it his job to create that environment that she can be feminine in though? Shouldn't it be his
He is
I
job?
don't.
feminine.
Like, so
I
if he
disagree
doesn't
with
have
that.
the mentality,
I disagree with that, Danielle. As a
Yeah,
woman,
I don't understand. I'm
it's
asking.
just like it's that man's job to be the protector and the provider, no matter what he's going through outside of the household. It's my job to bring love and nourishment into my home, regardless of what's going on. But don't feud with me, meaning my partner shouldn't be bringing me negative energy, conflicting energy, right? Non-supportive energy. I agree with that part, but it's not his job to
but
make
if
me more.
he's not bringing that protection, then she's not coming with her femininity
That's
because
true too.
I'm not feeling
But he,
protected in my
but
environment enough to where I can be
What
feminine.
Nitro's
I
coming
have
from
to
a
go
place that
hard.
don't bring the negative energy from work inside your home. That's what
That's
he's
what I'm
saying.
talking about. That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
all
All that
he's
other
saying.
stuff, he should protect you, obviously, like and support and what all that stuff. That's a given. If you're in a relationship with the person and you're living with them domestically, I'm not talking about a hookup dude. I'm talking about a guy that you're living with that you're in a committed relationship, of course you should do those things. You should already know he does those things before you even commit to them, in my opinion. But what I'm trying to say, where a lot of women that are career driven and all this stuff fall into problems, they bring their work home and it causes problems. I work under a lot of masculine women and they're single and stuff. And I see why they're single, because they're very masculine at work. I can imagine how they are in the household. So if you got to know how to turn that off. I don't know how to work it. I don't know if it could be done. I don't know. That's just something that I
But that's
observe.
what Danielle's telling you, to brew an environment where she can let her hair down. She can be stress free.
When she comes into the home,
I worked in an all men environment. I was sold cars. That very much so. But when I came home around my man, he pulled that feminine energy out of me to the point where I'm aggressive at work, but at home I'm a whole different person because he changed that energy. Because as soon as I walked in the door, I'm like, oh, there goes my baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. But when I walk in the door and he's on 10 and he's, where you been and wait and da, 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 then I'm gonna come with the same energy. You know what
which
I'm
one
saying?
is
So it
did he
depends
do it or
on
didn't he do
him
it?
too.
Did he do it or didn't he do it? I'm confused. You saying
I
two
mean,
talking about two different dudes?
there was days, and I mean, you ain't gonna get my feminine day if you're attacking me. It's on,
Well,
it's on.
I don't condone being attacked for no reason, But
I mean, but sometimes you guys have bad days and y'all bring it home too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying as far as what y'all trigger. Because y'all can have a bad day and then if you come home and I'm home now, I'm relaxed, she's gonna automatically pick up that energy and I'm home now, I'm relaxed. Let's both sit on the couch and turn
but
on, I don't even care if you turn on
the-
ESPN because I'm about to go to sleep and probably snore halfway through it anyway.
these are things when you're with somebody you have to figure out how
Just
to
rub
work
my
through.
booty while I'm asleep.
These are conversations. Hey, if I'm stressed, I prefer to be alone for a little bit to decompress. If I'm stressed, I prefer this. I prefer these are conversations you and your mate should have, so everybody's on the same page and understands each other when they come home from a rough day. Because we all have rough days. If we're out there working, you're gonna have good days and bad days. But nobody should just be attacked just because they're there. Like that's not fair to anybody, whether it's woman or man doing it. So I don't condone that just for no reason. Now, if you're saying the house isn't comforting for a woman to let loose. If the house is, then there's no excuse then, because then it should happen automatically. Once you come home, the house is peaceful, house is calm. There's no reason for you to bring your job home to you. That's all I'm saying, because that's when the problems happen. When you bring your frustration from your job into the house. This is why some dudes don't want their woman working, because they know what comes with the working. You gotta be stressed, you gotta be frustrated. You might not want to kiss on me, you might want to love me, you might want to have sex with me, whatever,
Exactly.
because you're in a bad mood. So that's why some men don't want their woman working. So I get where they coming from with that. But if you're okay with your woman working, you guys should have a conversation like adults and say, hey, I like things this way if I'm upset. I like things that when I'm upset. So at least everybody knows where they're coming from and how to adjust when those days arise. So we're not clashing and bumping heads. So that's just what I'm trying to get to.
Well, and
No, I
that's what
like.
I'm saying too. Like when we were on the same level, me and him, and I'm giving an example of my situation. When we were both customer service agents, everything was good, right? When I got to technical support and I made a little bit more to him, it's, oh, you think you're this and you think that, and he started attacking me. And then when I went from from tech support to IT, and he's still in customer service, it's my problem. I'm still the problem. And he was very, very insecure about me going up the ladder and him not. And then he couldn't understand why he couldn't go up the ladder.
Hey, I hear
You
you.
see what
I
I'm
hear you.
saying?
Talking
So
about
if
something
we would
real
have
now.
both had the
This
same
happens to the best.
ambition,
I hear you.
if we would have had the same ambition, then he would have been able to support me better through the climb because he would have been climbing too. So his mentality would have been, okay, I know she needs to, de-stress and everything because she's just been out here fighting the world because I'd have been out here fighting the world too. But because he wasn't out there fighting the world, he was very complacent in his mentality. He started attacking me when I came home.
Is
I hear
that
you.
because
I hear
everybody
you.
attack you after this show?
I hear you. I hear you. At the end of the day,
Oh, and Derrick better not
you
say
can
nothing,
control.
Mr. Pride.
If you take care of what you can control, that then there's no fault in you. If he's like that and you doing what you gotta do as a woman, that's on him as a man to deal with the consequences that come from it. So I don't know every little detail of y'all relationship, but I mean I get where you're coming from. It sounds like
I
yeah,
mean,
this
it
shit
ain't no
is
more,
wrong.
but yeah.
But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying, from what you're giving me. But at the end of the day, you can only do what you can control. If you are this person that brings peace and calmness and not changing as you go going up the corporate ladder, not adjusting, not changing how you treat him, then and he's changing how he treats you, then you have all right to be upset.
Absolutely. And that's why I say I can feel her on when she said, I wouldn't date a bus driver because of the mentality, not necessarily because of the income, because we can all start at the bottom, right? But we have to have the ambition and the mindset to hire. We have to take ourselves to the higher level because ain't nobody going to do it for us. And if he doesn't have that ambition to even reach for the stars, then I don't want to date him. Period. I don't care where he's at right now, it's where you're going. And if you go into the next bus stop and that's it, that's all, then I can see why she's like, no, I'm good. Because she's already went from the bus stop to an airplane to a private jet now.
Yep.
I would just say to that, if you don't mind me, excuse me. I would just say to that, these bus drivers make good money. They have 20, if they put in their 20 years, they could retire with a pension. You could save up some good money and make a nice way for yourself, have a business, do whatever you want after
I'm not
20
saying I
years. So
wouldn't date a bus driver just for mental.
there are good things that could come if, like you said, the person has that business savviness, if they want to do it.
Right.
You know, if they
Yes.
want to do it, that's fine. You know, if, as a
Right.
woman, nothing wrong with saying, hey, let's take some of your money or our money and put it together and do this or do that. Nothing wrong with doing that. But
Right.
sometimes what people have to understand, things take time, you know, and you have to, and sometimes businesses fail too. So some people don't might want to take that risk. So yeah, you're going to start a bit. Some people might not want to take that risk. They'd rather be comfortable just making their money, saving it, and putting it
Of
towards things that
course,
they
and
feel
there's
more
nothing
control.
wrong with it. I think that was the whole premise of this show today. Is like nobody's talking down on anybody for whatever career choice they choose. I think the whole point behind which you date a bus driver was in my mind was like, wow, these people are really coming for Ebony, but she's already paved her way. She's already at a particular
Mm-hmm.
status and she's dating the men that she wants to date. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
A matter of fact, standing ovation for her because a lot of women have not made it that far in their lives before 40. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we have to give credit where credit's due. Now, with that being said, for the rest of us who may not be there yet, but we're on our way, whatever you choose is your business as long as you're with somebody who respects you, that has a natural grind and tenacious spirit like yours. It doesn't have to be the same exact thing that you do in your life, making the same
Right.
amount of money that you're making, but as long as you're grinding and you have a goal, because there's a lot of goalless people wanting
Mm-hmm.
to date people that have goals already set in
Goals.
place that are actively working through their missions in life. So all I'm saying is don't get mad at somebody because they have standards. Don't get mad at somebody because that's how they feel. They wouldn't date somebody who makes C's and D's in school or in college or who doesn't have a college degree. That's their right. That is their standard. Just like there's some people who love to date women on Section 8. Just like there's some women who love to date drug dealers. I'm not judging. That's none of my business. I
No,
don't
but you're
care what
right.
you
It
like.
does.
But if you need my relationship counseling advice, I am here at your service and I'm going to let you know the truth, whether you get upset or not. If you want to better yourself, I can tell you which way to go. That's it. That's all. That's my whole premise on the whole topic. Stop getting upset with people about their standards and what they want in their lives. It is their right. That's it. I'm done.
That's fair.
Y'all have any final
I
words
respect that.
for the show?
That's fair. I have
And
no.
shout out to
You should have said
Gifted
it.
Goddess.
What you said. Ebony should have said. You should have wrote for Ebony, so she should have said what you said just now.
Hey,
And
girl,
things
shout
would have
out
worked
to
much
me. If
better.
you need a publicist, I got you,
Thank
baby.
you. You should be
I
a
can make it
publicist.
politically correct. PC is my
Yes.
thing.
She needed you as a publicist because what you said is fair, and people would have been like, "Oh yeah, okay, I get what you saying." But then it'd be like, C's and D's and mediocre. You a bus driver, all this like,
She
nah.
was triggering people like pow, pow, pow.
People gonna
Okay.
come for
Wait
you.
a minute. I'm a
People,
C student. How dare
people gonna
she?
come for you. Regardless how you meant it, people gonna come for you, man. That's how it
That's
goes. Like,
true.
yeah, if I owned the
But wait,
bag,
why
if I
not be
owned the bag,
comfortable with being a C and D student though? Like, If you a C student, why let that trigger you? So what? You're okay with being a C student?
I'm just saying, if I'm a
Not you.
CND student and I'm making 6 figures driving a bus, I don't feel I need to be attacked. I feel like I'm up.
That's what I'm saying. And most
I'm
people
persevering.
probably wouldn't. I
Yeah.
think the people that is feeling some type of way is people that it triggered because there's some hurt behind it because they know they could do better. I think that's more so who she triggered because she didn't trigger everybody. She didn't trigger me or no mans that I knew. She didn't trigger none of the mans I knew. And I think it was, simply because they're like, if I wanted to do better, I could. Most of them know they lazy and they okay with being lazy.
For you. Have any final words before we wrap up this show?
No, I'm good. I just want to say again, shout out to Gifted Goddess because some of her comments was on point. Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We had a lot of comments. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read them in real time. We were really knee deep into this conversation today. For those who will watch this show
And
afterwards, make
Jeff.
sure you like, comment, and share. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel below. DJ2K, let us know your business. Let them know where they can
Yeah,
follow you.
yeah, yeah. Look me up Mondays uh, on the Team DJs page. We do that. I want to bring you back again, Miss Danielle. So we got another discussion. Maybe dig a little deep into this a little bit. We'll
Okay.
put you in the same kind of situation. 2 dudes, and you're the only female on the show. And see how you
Okay. I'm with
Y'all gonna tear her up.
it. They gonna try.
But
They gonna
but
try.
no. It's called Shooting the Ish. I want to say that's where Shooting the Ish on Monday. The Team DJs with a Z on Instagram. We have a nice discussion, nice panel. We just have just fun discussions like this where we talk music, politics, this, that, relationships. It doesn't matter. We just have a good time, a good vibe. So anybody's pretty much welcome to come and watch and or participate. So maybe again, maybe bring both ladies on. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. But yeah, if you also want to follow me on Instagram, this right there, DJ the number 2, the letter K, the NITRO. I'm here for y'all, man. I'm here for y'all people. So if y'all need me, just reach out to me. All right.
Perfect. All right, Danielle, you have any shout outs you want to give them? Let them know where they can follow you.
So Match My Style is matchmystyle.com. I do organic skincare and hair products. I also am very strong in aromatherapy. I do got some teas I need to put on there, y'all. I'm sorry, I update my own website and I just don't get to it. But I do have teas. I do positive one-on-one coaching, um, holistic facial spas, which is actually starting to crack off because of graduations. And that's it. Danielle Moore on Facebook. You get to know the real me. My business pages is matchmystyle.com on Instagram and on Facebook as well.
All right, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. Would you drive? Would you drive? Would you date a bus driver? DJ2K, you did it with this one. This is a really good conversation.
It
Danielle
Yes,
was.
Moore,
sir.
a special guest. Mr. Pride, I don't know where you were, but the show it has to go on, with or without you, brother.
Get
He
him,
gonna be
get him.
quiet
Y'all
now.
have all right.
Get him.
Be
We on the
quiet,
spot.
Mr. Pride.
Give him all the smoke. He deserved it.
I'm sick of it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where are you?
This is why women don't listen.
Yeah, of course. That's
You
exactly
don't even do
why.
what you say you're gonna do. This is why we don't listen.
I have no response to that. I have no response to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we attacking you live.
Can't,
It's on
can't.
YouTube too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But for real, I
Can't
want to
defend that.
thank all my guests that tuned in today. You guys had some extraordinary comments. I could really tell
Mm-hmm.
this was a topic that dug deep into a lot of people's psyche. But I hope you're all right. Because I mean, it's just her opinion. Who cares, right? All right, guys. I will see you guys again next month. We'll definitely keep you in a loop with DJ2K because he does do his shows on Mondays and he has really great topics. So I look forward to watching them hammer Danielle Moore. I love you, sis, but it's funny. Okay.
Or try.
Topic. Guys, stay blessed, be safe, and until we meet again in June, thank you for tuning in to the Sisters Talk